Today we're going to work on drawing a realistic looking eye for the Wonder Project. And this is what it should look like at the very end, and all you're going to need for this is a pencil and maybe an eraser. So let's get started. First you're going to draw the shape of the face. You're going to draw a large oval, taking up most of the entire paper. It should kind of look like an upside down egg, so the bottom is going to be skinnier than the top part. You're going to draw this very lightly with your pencil in case you want to make any changes later. It should be easy to do so. Once you have the shape you like, you're going to darken your lines just a little bit, not too much. So now we are going to separate the face into 3 parts. There's going to be 2 parts at the top and 1 part at the bottom that's going to be left alone. So first we're going to draw a horizontal line that goes across the face. You can use a ruler for this if you really want to, but you can also just eyeball it. Draw a light line across the top. Now we're going to start at the top of the skull here and draw a line straight down. And it's going to stop at that line you just made. Okay, so now we have our shape of our face, and we're going to be drawing the eye right here, and that is the place we're going to draw it, but I'm going to draw it a little bit bigger so you can see in more detail what you need to do for that. But that is the space that you are going to be drawing your eye, right in that section. So, the first thing you're going to do is start with the shape of the eye. You're going to make a curved arch. It kind of looks like a lemon once you're done with it. So it's a very curved arch here. But the left side is left open on purpose. Right there. This left side is going to be left open on purpose. We use it for something else. So we're going to continue with our curved line all the way around. And again, you're leaving the left side open just a little bit. Now here you are going to draw a C shape, and that's where the tear duct area is going to be. Corner of your eye, tear duct. A C shape here. And your eyeball doesn't go all the way to the corner. There's like a little pink space there or beige space in the corner, and we want to separate that from your eyeball. So we're doing another kind of C shape or parenthesis shape to leave that to be beige. And that is where your eyeball is. So here's our C shape. That's the corner of our eye. The rest of it is going to be the white space of your eye. So now we are going to draw the iris. The iris is the colored part of your eye. You're going to come in a ways, and you're going to start with a curve down, but you don't want to hit the bottom there of your eyeball for your iris. You're going to continue it all the way around. Iris is the colored part of your eye, so whether it's blue or green or brown, this is the section that is colored in your eye. It gets cut off a little bit at the top with your eyelid, and again, it does not touch the bottom. So, now we are going to do the pupil, and the pupil is the black part of your eye. It expands and contracts to let light in. We're going to draw a large circle, or a medium-sized circle rather, near the top of the iris you just did, the full circle. Once we have our full circle, we're also going to be drawing a little spot on the eye that kind of looks like a reflection of the light. And it's somewhat of a curved square. Some of my students said it looked like corn a little bit, so you're going to draw your little corn space right here in the eye. We're going to leave that alone for the rest of the time. Now we're going to draw the eyelid, which goes all the way around the eye. It's very close to it. It's not very far up. So here we have our eyelid that goes all the way around at the top. I'm going to kind of do the same thing at the bottom, but this one is not going to go all the way across. It's going to kind of stop in the center there, very close around the center there. Now we're going to do the eyelid, or the hood of the eye. It's a very large arch all the way across the eye. It doesn't exactly hit the corners, but it goes all the way across. Now we have the basic shape of our eye, and we can start by coloring. In this eye, I'm going to start by coloring with brown. So, well, first actually I'm going to start with my black color pencil. So here I'm going to color in the pupil, all black. You probably want to start with this lightly and then put more pressure as you go so that you know that you're doing it how you want it to look. So here we've got this colored in. And once we're done, now we can start with our color. So I'm going to take my dark brown. I'm using 3 colors for this: dark brown, a light brown, and a yellow. I'm going to start by coloring the outside of the iris with strokes that are kind of spiky, not very close together, very sketchy. Then I'm going to continue on a little bit more just to make sure that I like how it looks. And now I'm going to go around the eye, shading around to give it more depth. Once I've got that dark part in, all the places that I want it to go, I can then switch to my light brown color. And that's going to go on the inside of the dark place that I just did, close to the pupil. So I'm just sketching it again a little bit more, all the way around. I'm even going to add some into the dark brown that I just did to kind of ease the transition from the dark to the light here. Once I've done that, I'm going to add maybe a little bit of yellow around the pupil. It's for someone who maybe has a very light brown eye. You don't have to add the yellow, but it's just something you could do if you want. Once I've done that, I'm going to go back to my dark brown, or maybe actually I will use my eraser and kind of erase a little bit inside where the light brown was to make it look like the eye's a little bit shiny, more of the reflection. Now I'm going to take my dark brown and color in around, fill it in a little bit more, outline it, putting more pressure around the outside of the iris. I'm going to color in the spaces that I left white earlier. Still giving it kind of a sketchy feel to it. Not completely solid like I did with my pupil. And take my black a little bit and outline that as well. Now if you have darker brown eyes, you might use all of the dark brown and then the black to go around it. You don't have to use a lighter brown or a yellow for that. To make sure that our eye looks as 3D as possible, we're going to use our black color pencil, or even just your regular pencil, to do some shading in the corners here and here. So we're going to very lightly with our pencil or color pencil shade around in the corner. If you have pink, you can do that also, just a little bit. You don't want to put too much. So right here in the corners, to give our eye a little bit more depth. And in that corner there, we're going to be coloring maybe with some brown, or if you have pink or red, you can also color in there. So now we're going to work on our eyelashes, and these eyelashes are going to be pretty dramatic. They're going to be very long eyelashes. And we're going to start by drawing on the lash line, which is the second line we made right here. Eyelashes do not come from where the eyeball is. You have another line there, that lash line. So you're going to start by curving up and to the right a bit, If you don't want as dramatic eyelashes as this, then I would do them more of a straight, very spiky kind of look. But if you want more dramatic eyelashes or following along with this one, you would curve them out and they get longer and longer as you get out to the corners. You want to do this lightly with your pencil first before you get out your color pencil, because it makes it easier to make changes. So once we have that, we can start by darkening our eyelashes a little bit in this area here. So take your black color pencil or dark brown and start with outlining the lash line a little bit darker and following the lines you just made. You can make them a little bit thicker if you'd like to. Very dramatic eyelashes here, all the way down to the end. Now we also want to do eyelashes at the bottom, and these are going to be very short eyelashes. So they're just a little bit slightly curved, very spiky, kind of far apart. They only go about to where the pupil is. You don't want to go all the way around. Add some more here and there. You feel like there are some spots that need a couple extra ones. You don't want to make them too dark like you did the top ones. You can just leave those alone. So now we're going to start by shading in around the eye, making a kind of a skin tone. So right here between the eye and the eyelash line, you can shade it in with your brown color pencil. Around these corners, they're going to be a little bit darker. Definitely in the corners where the lash line is. You can go from the lash line to the eye a little bit diagonal and a little bit darker there. Same thing for the bottom here. And shade it just a little bit darker in the corners. It gives it more of a round, three-dimensional look. Once you've got that, we're going to move on to the hood of the eye. So the big curve of the hood of the eye is going to be a little bit darker, and as you move closer to the eye, it's going to get lighter and lighter. And this area right here is where you might wear eyeshadow, if you like to wear eyeshadow. So if you want to add that to your picture, you can. This is the area where you would do that. Right here. Continuing coloring around the eye very lightly. You always want to go lightly first so you can make any changes or fix anything that you want to fix or change. I'll use maybe a little bit of my light brown to fix or change what's going on in the eye here. We never make any mistakes in our artwork because we're doing it, so nobody really knows how it's supposed to look. So as long as you can defend it and say that that was totally how you planned on doing it in the first place, nobody's going to know the difference. So I'm going to fill this in some more from where I left it last. I want it to be a little bit more dark. And that is how your realistic looking eye, that is brown, is supposed to be, but I want to maybe add some red to the corner of my eye to give it that little corner a little bit of a pink shade. So I'm not going to color too hard, very lightly. You can do more layers. Again, it's easier to fix if I do it lightly first. Also going to do a little bit in the corners here, but not too much. You don't want it to be too red in the corner so your eyes look tired. Just a little bit to give it more of a round shape here. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little tutorial on how to draw a realistic looking eye. If you find that you have your own tips or tricks that you think work better, by all means use those. If someone else in class has even better tips or tricks, use those as well. Whatever you can do to get your eye looking the best it can look, it's up to you. Try your best and have fun.